Hey there folks, welcome back to the channel. Got a fun little video planned for you all today. This was one of those days where I got done with my real job and I just said, you know what? I want to go play with some tools. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So what's on tap today is we've got this snow shovel here that I adore. It's certainly worse for the wear, although we're not going to touch that so much. But what I really like about this is that a lot of the snow shovels you buy today, one, either they're made of plastic, they're obviously expensive, or two, it's hard to find with like a straight handle. They all want to do the ergonomic, this and that, whatever. I don't like that. Right? If I'm going to shovel the front steps or the front walkway, I just want something like this that's strong, sturdy, straight, and this thing has been just that for many years. The problem, as you may or may not be able to tell, is that the handle, which used to have this plastic on it, well, the plastic's coming off. And because I'm sometimes in a hurry and I don't always put gloves on to go shovel the front steps, I end up grabbing this in the winter, and it's metal, or at least it feels like metal, and it's exceedingly cold, and I can only do it for so long before I realize that I should have put gloves on in the first place. Now, that being said, it's obviously fixable, and that's what we're going to fix today. When I was thinking about working on this, I thought there was a couple different ways I could have gone. I know that I think some people use like the batting grip tape, like you see on baseball bats or hockey sticks, but that was very expensive to wrap it around this, so I didn't go that route. Instead, I just went with some really big heat shrink. So that's what we're going to use to fix this up. In the meantime, I want to clean this up with the die grinder. Probably a little overkill, but isn't everything I do on this channel overkill? So sit back, subscribe, like, and let's get into the video. Well, that's rusted on there pretty good.
A few moments later.
Well, folks, what was supposed to be a 20-minute, just little fun project in a 5-minute video turned into anything but. I think I started filming right around 6 o'clock. It is now 7:30. Took me an hour and a half to get this handle out of the shovel. I thought about giving up several times, but we were not going to let this thing win. And it took me an hour and 25 minutes to realize that, I was getting really good gription with the towels, but not, like, better than my hands, but not the best grip I could get. And then I was like, hey, I've got these Milwaukee gloves. And of course I put those on, and 5 minutes later it was out. So on to the next step. I think part of the reason it was so hard to get off was that this plastic piece at the end just would not move, but we got it. So now we can enter into the actual project, which hopefully that's going to go better than the first half. And my thought process here is, rather than put the heat shrink on this rusted pipe, why don't we clean it up? But you can see how well this is shaping up. So I'm just going to get this down to the bare metal, get rid of all the surface rust, and then we'll bring you back for the heat shrink. All right, so I'm pretty happy rather with how that turned out. We got most of the surface rust off. Obviously I wasn't going to get everything off. There might even be a better tool for dealing with this, because obviously that's flat and this is round, but it worked. Gonna run over it with some alcohol. I've said this before, but this alcohol dispenser that I got on iFixit, I wanted to love it, because I use alcohol a fair bit, but the idea is that when the top is on it, you're supposed to be able to push it down and it'll sort of self-dispense, but in my experience, it doesn't work at all. So let's just get this as clean as we can. Of course, it's going to be dirty, because everything is dirty. All right, so now we're going to do a partial reassembly, specifically this portion. To think, it took us an hour and a half to get it off, and now we're putting it back together in 5 seconds. You know what? These screws have some rust on them as well. Let me run these over the wire wheel. All right, our fasteners are good as new. That's exciting. All right, now for the main attraction. Now, when I first took the stuff out of the packaging, I was a little worried because it looks too big. But I did a test run and it seems to work just fine. All right, so we just bought enough because this is all we have left. This stuff was actually relatively cheap. Like I said, the baseball bat stuff was very expensive. I think that would have cost me more than a new shovel. So, and we got our Milwaukee heat gun, and let's shrink it up. If you decided to do this with the Milwaukee heat gun, man, it takes a while, and I just had to change the battery, but we're almost done, and I can tell you right now, I am so thrilled with how this looks. All right, so I'm all done with this. It looks fantastic. I can't wait to put it all together. I originally ran the heat shrink all the way up to the hole where the handle goes, thinking it would just create like this tight, nice friction fit, but it doesn't fit over there at all. So instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put another piece of heat shrink over the whole thing. Then I'm gonna attach the handle. And then we're gonna heat shrink that to hold everything together. Now the question is the heat shrink gonna fit over this handle? Oh yeah, it is. All right, folks, well, there you have it. I am thrilled with how this came out. I will link this heat shrink in the description if you're interested. It comes in a bunch of different colors. Obviously, I just went with black because I'm boring, but maybe you'll go with something different. I would love to show you this in action, but there's no snow on the ground, thankfully. So not till next year, but like I said, this was just something to pass the time. Thought it was gonna be a 20-minute project and it turned into a whole lot more. But thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the very next video.